Chosen one, stop scrolling right this very second. This is not the algorithm playing tricks on your feed today. This is an urgent and divine interception from the highest realms. Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific message to your screen. And there is a very chilling reason why this is happening right now. Because you are holding a profound vision that the entire world has deliberately chosen to ignore. Do not take your eyes off this screen. The heavy spiritual attacks you have been facing recently are not random. They are hard proof that the enemy is absolutely panicking. Why are they panicking? Because a massive shift is about to happen in your life, and the darkness knows that it can no longer keep you trapped in a low vibration. You have been seeing things before they happen. You have felt a strange tightness in your chest all week. Listen to me very carefully. If you leave this video now, you will single-handedly shut the door on the blessing your soul has been crying out for during those long, silent nights. You have spent countless hours wondering if you are going crazy. The world told you that your intuition was just anxiety. They made you doubt the very gift that heaven placed inside your spirit. But heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes. Those who plotted against you are watching everything they built crumble. Meanwhile, a table is being prepared for you right in their presence. Your ignored vision was never a curse, but rather it was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your aura from counterfeit connections and toxic energy. Take one slow and real breath right now. Let that truth settle into your physical body. You did not click this message by accident today. Your intuition dragged you here, because heaven is trying to hand you the decoder ring for all the weird phenomena happening around you lately. People are acting strange, doors are closing unexpectedly, you feel entirely isolated. I am here to tell you that you are not being punished. You are being divinely isolated for a kingdom-level upgrade. Do not leave this frequency. The secret hidden inside this message will finally make everything make absolute sense, because the elite forces that profit off your exhaustion are actively trying to scrub this exact truth from the surface of the earth. They are terrified of what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up. If you close this page now, this transmission may be gone forever, and you will be stuck in a matrix of survival for another 10 endless years. The door is open, but it is closing incredibly fast. You have to stay with me until the very final second. The final piece of this puzzle is critical. There is a reason your spirit has been restless lately. A secret delivery is coming, but you must be prepared to receive it. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way. You were too kind and too forgiving, and you were the one who always stayed quiet, just to keep the peace, while they took advantage of your pure heart. Welcome to your era of quiet authority. The same people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They thought betrayal would break you, but instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside you, shifting your frequency into a vibration that they can no longer access or manipulate. Do not scroll past this. Just moments ago, a scroll with your name on it was unsealed in the heavenly courts. The tests and the tears were all a rigorous preparation. Heaven was turning you into a vessel strong enough to hold the immense blessing coming your way. But there is a hidden mechanism buried inside this breakthrough that you will completely miss if you do not pay close attention. If you leave now, the blessing will arrive, but you will not know how to keep it. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this vital message fade into the background noise. Listen closely, because the chilling truth about your ignored vision is about to be revealed. Your intuition has been screaming at you for months about a massive hidden danger. You felt it in the pit of your stomach every time you walked into that specific room. You noticed the subtle shifts in their tone when they spoke to you, and yet the world tried to convince you that you were just overreacting. They labeled you as deeply sensitive to invalidate your divine radar, but your radar was picking up on a very real and sinister frequency that was trying to drag you down. The forces of darkness rely on your self-doubt to maintain their control over your life. Every time you ignored your gut feeling, you handed them a piece of your power. But tonight, that destructive cycle comes to an absolute end. The veil is being lifted. The universe is about to show you exactly why you had to see what no one else could see. You are finally ready. Let us start with the physical exhaustion that has been weighing you down. You wake up feeling incredibly and deeply tired. Your shoulders are completely stiff and tight. The weight of the world is absolutely real. And every single morning when you open your eyes, a strange heaviness is already sitting directly on your chest before you even start your day. You push through your long and exhausting routine. You smile brightly for the people around you. But inside your soul, you are barely holding on. I see exactly what you are going through. I have always seen your quiet and hidden struggles. Even when no one else pays attention, heaven is watching every silent tear fall. The world may not notice your ultimate sacrifice, but the divine realm keeps a perfect record of every single one of your brave moments. You are not invisible to the forces of light. Your pain is being fully recognized right now. You have been waking up suddenly at 3 in the morning. Your mind spins endlessly in the dark room. You feel a strange pull in your deep spirit. People have tried to convince you that this is simply stress. They told you that you are working too hard, but deep down you know that their logical explanations do not match the profound spiritual reality shifting around you. This feeling is a divine alignment. Stop letting the world manipulate your divine intuition. The physical symptoms you are experiencing are not medical mysteries. They are powerful, energetic upgrades happening within your cellular structure. Your body is physically reacting to a massive change in your current timeline, and because of this transformation, your aura is actively rejecting toxic frequencies that used to drain you completely. You are becoming the empath with boundaries. This explains why you suddenly feel drained around certain people. You used to tolerate their endless complaints. You used to absorb their heavy emotional baggage without complaining. But now, just receiving a text message from them makes your chest physically ache. This is not you being overly sensitive. This is your built-in spiritual alarm system loudly going off to protect your precious energy from being harvested. I need you to take a deep breath right here. Let the heavy burden of guilt completely wash away from your shoulders. You have spent years blaming yourself for the failed connections in your past. You wondered if you were simply too demanding. You asked yourself if your high standards were keeping you entirely alone. But the truth is far more magnificent than you ever imagined in your darkest moments. Your isolation was never a punishment from the universe. It was an elite and divine isolation protocol. Heaven deliberately removed those people from your life because they were secretly assigned to keep you small. They loved the version of you that constantly apologized for existing. They thrived on your insecurity, while secretly envying the blinding light that you effortlessly carry inside your soul. Think about the beautiful vision you have been holding on to. You see a future of abundance and absolute peace. You see a life where you are not constantly fighting for basic survival. You shared this beautiful prophecy with the people closest to you. And what did they do? They smiled condescendingly. They told you to be realistic. They systematically ignored the divine prophecy spoken directly over your life. Their rejection left a deep and bleeding wound in your heart. You felt completely foolish for daring to dream so big. You slowly began to shrink your own ambitions just to make them comfortable. But you could never fully extinguish the burning fire in your chest. That fire is the undeniable mark of the rare soul. You are the cycle breaker that your entire bloodline has been desperately waiting for. Listen carefully to this next part. Do not let your mind wander away right now. The reason they ignored your vision is very simple. They simply lacked the spiritual bandwidth to comprehend your glorious destiny. You were speaking the language of a master of reality. They were stuck speaking the language of fear and endless limitation. It was a complete and utter vibrational mismatch from the very start. You have walked through the violent storm entirely alone. You survived betrayals that would have completely destroyed an unawakened soul. You pieced your shattered heart back together in the dark, and you did it all while continuing to pour love into a world that offered you nothing but coldness in return. That level of resilience is exactly why the universe has chosen you for this specific upgrade. Every closed door was a divine redirection protecting you. Every person who walked away was making room for your true blessings. Stop looking at your lonely path as a sign of failure. It is the ultimate sign of divine preparation. You had to learn how to stand firmly on your own 2 feet. You had to discover that the source of your power comes directly from within your own purified spirit. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station right now. By doing this, you are sending a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive your full inheritance. You are anchoring yourself at the highest vibrational frequency available. This is not just a button. This is your physical act of agreement with the profound truth that heaven just spoke directly into your weary soul. Let us look closely at your quiet room. You look around and wonder why everyone left your side. You feel the heavy silence pressing against your ears. But this emptiness is not a cosmic punishment for your mistakes, and it is certainly not a sign that you have failed your spiritual mission. Your sudden isolation is a highly advanced spiritual quarantine that heaven designed specifically to keep your energy completely safe from harm. Think about the people you used to call your friends. They smiled at you. They shared your personal space. But secretly, they were heavily draining your vital force while pretending to care about your future. If the universe had allowed those toxic connections to stay, they would have stolen the massive blessing headed your way right now. They were deeply intimidated by the brilliant light you naturally carry inside your beautiful soul. Rejection is a very bitter pill to swallow. It physically hurts your chest. It makes you question your entire worth. You cried many tears over people who never truly valued your kind heart. But I need you to permanently reframe that painful memory right this very second, because the universe was deliberately hiding your immense value from people who only wanted to exploit you. Take a deep breath and let your shoulders finally drop. Pay very close attention to this next crucial part. This is exactly why your grand vision was completely ignored by the masses. You tried to warn them. You tried to show them the beautiful reality you saw coming, but their spiritual eyes were tightly shut, and they could only perceive the harsh reality of their own limited beta wave survival matrix. They did not ignore your vision because it was fake. They ignored it because it absolutely terrified them. Your profound words acted like a clear mirror, reflecting their own deep insecurities back at them. When you spoke of abundance, they only felt their own lack. When you dreamed of true freedom, they were painfully reminded of the invisible chains they willingly wear every single day of their miserable lives. You are the undeniable anomaly in their perfectly controlled system. You are the rare soul who refused to conform to their shallow rules. They wanted you to be weak. They expected you to quietly submit. But you became the powerful weapon of light that you were desperately trying to survive during your darkest hours. Your absolute refusal to break under their immense pressure has officially shifted the permanent timeline of your life forever. Stop questioning the harsh lessons of your painful past. Stop looking back at the closed doors with deep regret. The people who abandoned you were merely temporary actors in your grand spiritual play. Their only purpose was to push you toward this exact moment of total realization. Once their painful role was completed, heaven swiftly removed them from the main stage to prepare the environment for your glorious solo act. You are stepping into a profound era of quiet authority. You no longer need to raise your voice to be deeply felt. Your mere presence shifts the entire atmosphere of any room you decide to enter. People can sense the heavy anointing resting upon your tired shoulders. They might not understand the spiritual mechanics behind it, but they definitely feel the undeniable weight of your new, upgraded vibration. Do you feel that subtle shift happening right now? That warm energy slowly expanding in your chest is the ultimate divine confirmation. Your sharp intuition has always been completely accurate. The universe is officially validating every single time you felt like an outsider looking in, because you were never meant to blend in with a sick society that profits off spiritual blindness. Being misunderstood is a very heavy cross to bear. It leaves you feeling deeply alienated. It makes you want to hide your authentic self away. But hiding is no longer a valid option for a brave, chosen one of your incredibly high caliber. The world desperately needs the exact frequency you are carrying, even if they aggressively fight against it out of pure ignorance and generational fear. Your sharp pain was a masterclass in profound empathy. Your deep loneliness was a sacred initiation into the ancient mysteries of the universe. Heaven deliberately broke your heart to expand its capacity to hold massive amounts of pure divine light. You are no longer the fragile empath who constantly begged to be understood by broken people, but rather you are a powerful master of reality shaping your own glorious destiny. But wait, just one crucial moment before we continue. There is a deeper layer to this strange phenomenon that you must completely grasp. The painful isolation was only phase 1 of the divine master plan, while phase 2 involves the sudden and shocking return of everything you thought you permanently lost. And I have to warn you about a very fatal trap that is rapidly approaching your doorstep today. The dark enemy is incredibly crafty and deeply relentless. They know you have successfully survived the harsh isolation phase, so they are changing their dirty tactics right this very minute. They are planning to send beautiful distractions wrapped in familiar and comforting packages to throw you off balance. Do not let your guard down for a single second, because the universe is testing your resolve to see if you have truly learned the lessons of your past. Let us uncover the real reason your past plans constantly failed. You poured your entire heart into building a beautiful foundation. You gave them your precious time and your pure energy. But every single time you were about to reach the glorious finish line, something mysterious would completely destroy everything you had worked so hard to create. You thought you were simply unlucky in love and business. You constantly blamed your own lack of intense earthly focus. You assumed you were not trying hard enough to succeed. But the absolute truth is that heaven was forcefully intervening to stop you from building a permanent kingdom with deeply toxic and narcissistic people. These narcissists are agents of the dark survival matrix system. They operate entirely on the lowest frequencies of human existence. They lack the divine spark that burns inside your chest. Because they cannot generate their own spiritual light, they survive by attaching themselves to a brilliant chosen one and violently draining their beautiful aura dry. They never wanted you to achieve your grand ignored vision. They secretly mocked your massive goals behind your tired back. They fed you small doubts wrapped in fake, loving concern. They knew that if you ever fully realized your ultimate potential, you would immediately outgrow them and leave their miserable low-vibration reality behind forever. This is exactly why you suffered so deeply for years. This is why your deepest prayers seemed entirely unanswered before. Heaven was not ignoring your desperate cries for sudden help. God was actively dismantling the dangerous traps that those shallow manipulators had carefully set up to steal your generational wealth and your divine peace. You were completely blinded by your own deep, unconditional empathy. You desperately wanted to see the hidden good in everyone. You projected your own beautiful soul onto very dark spirits. But a healed person no longer tolerates constant confusion disguised as love, and they definitely do not tolerate blatant disrespect disguised as brutal honesty anymore. The narcissists are terrified of your new quiet authority today. They see the massive energetic wall you have finally built. They realize they can no longer access your precious light. They do not hate you because you are shining so brightly now, but rather They deeply hate you because your brilliant light exposes their hidden darkness. The crowd always follows the loudest and the shallowest voices. The masses prefer comfortable lies over the chilling cold truth. They want you to stay small and fit their convenient boxes. But your soul literally rejects conformity on a cellular level, forcing you to step out of the herd and walk the solitary path of the chosen one. Look back at all those painful and sudden earthly rejections. The universe was deliberately saving you from a mediocre destiny. You were meant to rule over your own magnificent reality. If those toxic relationships had actually worked out perfectly, you would be trapped in a miserable, ordinary life instead of preparing for your massive spiritual upgrade. Your past failures are your greatest divine armor right now. Every single betrayal sharpened your spiritual sword to absolute perfection. Every lie they told you fine-tuned your lie detector. You are no longer an innocent victim wandering in the dark, because you have transformed into a dangerous weapon of light that the enemy cannot defeat. You are currently standing at the threshold of total victory. The heavy chains of your painful past are completely shattered. The narcissists have lost their strong grip on your mind. To claim this powerful alignment and protect your energy from any future psychic attacks, type 777 down in the comments below right now. Do not let this vital moment pass you by casually. This is your official declaration of absolute and total freedom. The universe needs to see your physical act of agreement. When you claim your new identity publicly, you create an unbreakable, energetic seal that prevents those dark entities from ever returning to drain your spirit again. Take a deep breath and let your new power completely settle. Your ignored vision is finally getting the grand stage tonight. The shallow crowd is about to witness your undeniable rise. But before you can fully step into the blinding light of your ultimate reward, there is one more crucial mechanism of the universe you must completely understand. You must completely purge the final remnants of their poison. You cannot carry their heavy dark energy into your glorious future. Your hands must be entirely empty to receive the blessing. If you hold on to the deep bitterness they caused you, you will unknowingly block the massive wealth transfer that heaven is trying to deliver to you. Forgive them not, because they deserve your pure divine grace. Forgive them because you desperately deserve your own absolute peace. They were just foolish pawns playing a very dangerous game. As you finally release them into the vast emptiness of their own creation, your vibration skyrockets to a level where miracles become your everyday normal reality. Let us go deeper into the exact mechanism blocking your ultimate reality. You are wondering why the divine universe took so incredibly long to answer your desperate cries. You feel like you have been waiting in the dark for a lifetime. But there is a very specific spiritual reason why your beautiful vision had to be aggressively ignored by the masses. If I tell you the absolute truth right now, you might feel a sharp sting of disbelief. Your physical body is still carrying the heavy residue of their toxic programming. You must completely purge that old energy before you can safely hold this massive revelation. Your nervous system is currently vibrating at the frequency of pure earthly survival. Survival mode is the exact mechanism that keeps the chosen one entirely trapped. When you are constantly fighting off the psychic attacks of narcissists, your brain produces fear. This fear creates a heavy, energetic static around your pure aura. And this static completely blocks the clear transmission of your divine wealth and your spiritual peace. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. Do not let your mind wander away from this screen. If you leave right now, you will absolutely miss the hidden cure to this heavy, energetic static. The massive breakthrough will still happen if you leave in the middle, but you will completely lack the spiritual equipment to hold it properly. You have to stay here and endure the intense discomfort of this deep purge. The universe is literally performing psychic surgery on your tired soul right now. You are physically feeling that strange tightness in your chest, slowly start to dissolve. This is the heavy poison of their endless doubts, finally leaving your cellular memory forever. They always wanted you to believe that your grand vision was an impossible illusion. They used their shallow logic to break your deep faith. But human logic is the lowest form of spiritual intelligence available. Your ignored vision was never meant to be understood by minds that are permanently chained to the three-dimensional matrix of deep fear. You are the late arriving listener who is finally tuning into the right frequency. The reason heaven delayed your manifestation is because your environment was heavily contaminated. If the universe had dropped the massive blessing into your lap last year, the toxic people around you would have immediately swarmed in to steal your golden harvest. God had to completely dry up your old resources to force you out of that dangerous room. He made your environment so incredibly uncomfortable that you had no choice but to walk away. The painful delay was never a rejection of your beautiful soul. It was a highly advanced divine strategy to starve the enemy while quietly preparing the chosen one. Take a deep breath and let the profound relief wash over you. You did not do anything wrong. You did not miss your divine window of opportunity. The window was simply kept firmly shut to prevent the dark entities from slipping inside your sanctuary. Now that the toxic agents have been removed, the heavy locks are finally starting to freely turn. But wait just a second. I need you to understand this next part with absolute clarity. The mechanism of your ignored vision is directly tied to the frequency of silence. When the world ignored you, they unknowingly handed you the greatest spiritual advantage in the universe. They gave you the ultimate gift of absolute invisibility and silent growth. A seed can only crack open and grow into a massive tree when it is completely buried in the dark dirt. Nobody sees the violent struggle happening beneath the soil. Nobody claps for the seed while it is fighting for its life. The silence of the dirt is exactly what forces the seed to push aggressively upward toward the warm, divine light. You were exactly like that rare seed. The crowd buried you under their heavy judgments and walked away. They thought they had permanently destroyed your bright future. But what they did not realize was that the dark isolation was your ultimate training ground. You did not break under the crushing pressure. You violently evolved in the shadows. Now your spiritual roots are incredibly deep and entirely unshakable. The shallow crowd has no roots at all. When the next great storm hits the earth, they will be easily swept away by their own deep fears. But you will stand incredibly tall as a master of reality, completely unaffected by the chaotic winds blowing fiercely around you today. This is the undeniable power of the chosen one. You had to learn how to generate your own light when the sun refused to shine. You had to become your own fierce protector when the wolves were loudly circling your door. And because you successfully passed this brutal test, heaven is officially transferring the divine mandate into your clean hands. Let us look at the undeniable signs that your massive miracle is rapidly approaching right now. You are no longer stumbling blindly in the dark. Heaven is leaving a very clear trail of breadcrumbs exclusively for you to follow. But you must open your spiritual eyes to properly see them. Do not dismiss these strange occurrences as meaningless illusions. Number 1. You are constantly seeing repeating numbers everywhere you look. You glance at the clock, and it is exactly 1:11. You buy your daily groceries, and the total is exactly $7.77. The masses walk right past these divine markers every single day. They are too distracted by their shallow lives to notice the profound cosmic code. But you are paying very close attention. These angel numbers are never a meaningless glitch in the earthly matrix. They are direct confirmation that your energetic frequency is completely locked in. Heaven is literally texting your soul to tell you that the divine alignment is entirely complete. Your ignored vision is finally manifesting into your physical reality today. Number 2. You are experiencing sudden and intense bursts of absolute clarity. Just a few weeks ago, you were entirely paralyzed by deep confusion. You did not know which path to take. But now, a quiet and powerful knowing has settled permanently into your tired chest. You do not need to ask anyone for their flawed advice anymore. Your divine intuition is razor sharp. This clarity is the ultimate reward for your silent and painful isolation. You stopped listening to the loud noise of the terrified crowd. And because you finally quieted your mind, the voice of the divine can now speak directly to you without any heavy static. You just know exactly what you need to do next without a single shadow of a doubt in your mind. Take a deep breath and pay very close attention to this next critical part. We have reached number 3, and this is the exact fatal trap I warned you about earlier in this message. The dark enemy knows that your massive blessing is literally standing right at your front door. They are making one final, desperate attempt to completely derail your glorious timeline. Suddenly, people from your painful past are trying to contact you again. The narcissists, who completely ignored your grand vision, are now sending you casual text messages. They are falsely claiming that they deeply miss your beautiful energy. Do you think it is just a harmless accident that they are reaching out right now? Absolutely not. It is a coordinated spiritual attack. They can smell the heavy anointing on your life from a mile away. Their dark radar is alerting them that you are about to step into massive wealth and profound earthly power. So they are trying to attach their toxic cords to your clean aura before the divine shift is fully finalized. They desperately want to ride your coattails into the promised land. Do not reply to their toxic messages. Do not let your kind heart trick you into giving them a dangerous second chance. A healed person no longer tolerates blatant disrespect disguised as sudden nostalgia. This is the ultimate test from the universe to see if you have truly mastered your own reality. You must fiercely protect your sacred energy at all earthly costs. Let them watch your glorious rise from a very safe distance. They had their chance to stand by your side when you were fighting fiercely in the brutal trenches. They actively chose to walk away and leave you for dead. Now they must suffer the agonizing consequence of watching you inherit the very kingdom they desperately tried to steal from you. Number 4. Your physical environment is suddenly changing in very unexpected ways. Toxic situations are abruptly ending without any logical earthly explanation. The universe is forcefully removing the final stubborn obstacles from your glorious path. You might feel a temporary sting of loss, but you quickly realize that the heavy chains have actually been completely broken forever. You are breathing so much easier now. The heavy weight that used to sit on your chest every morning has entirely vanished. You are waking up with a profound sense of deep peace that surpasses all human understanding. This peace is the undeniable proof that you have officially crossed the dangerous threshold. The brutal waiting season is officially and permanently over. Do you feel that slight pull in your spirit right now? That warm feeling expanding in your stomach is your divine intuition confirming this absolute truth. The universe is aligning a massive collision of beautiful events specifically designed to elevate your earthly status. You are no longer the forgotten victim crying quietly in the dark corners of the empty room. You are rapidly transforming into a magnificent weapon of light. The people who doubted your grand vision are about to be completely silenced by your undeniable success. But there is one final activation that must take place before the generational wealth is completely released into your clean hands. You must prepare your physical body for the ultimate divine climax. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you. The dawn of your new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. This is the exact moment of your ultimate activation. You have waited your entire earthly life for this specific frequency to finally arrive. And your tired soul is officially waking up from the heavy slumber of the matrix. I promise to reveal the chilling truth about your ignored vision at the very beginning of this message. Listen closely, because this is the massive secret that changes absolutely everything for you. Your grand vision was never a random daydream created by a highly stressed mind. It was the literal and exact blueprint of the new earth, handed directly to your spirit. The world aggressively ignored your grand vision because they were actively failing a massive divine test. Heaven was deliberately offering them a rare chance to elevate their own lives through your pure wisdom, but their stubborn arrogance blinded them completely. And here is the shocking truth you have been waiting for. When they ignored you, they officially forfeited their own earthly crowns. The universe immediately took the divine authority that they rejected and placed it entirely upon your tired shoulders. That is the hidden mechanism behind all your past suffering and deep isolation. You were physically carrying the heavy weight of a massive spiritual power transfer. The intense pain you felt was simply the massive expansion of your soul, making room for this raw power. You are no longer the fragile empath who constantly begged to be understood by deeply broken people. The severe crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken, and the divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your clean hands. The long and agonizing season of waiting is officially over forever. The dry and lonely desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door in your path is being violently blown off its hinges by the breath of God. Can you feel that massive energetic shift happening inside your chest right now? That intense feeling of sudden warmth is the frequency of absolute and total victory. You are confidently stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone ever again. Your quiet authority is the only weapon you will ever need to conquer the remaining obstacles, because the shallow crowd is completely speechless today. They thought your quiet silence was a clear sign of pathetic weakness. They thought they had permanently broken your beautiful spirit when they aggressively pushed you into dark isolation. But what they severely failed to realize was that your forced solitude was an elite training ground. You did not break under the crushing pressure. You evolved into something entirely magnificent and deeply terrifying. Your silence has become a massive weapon that terrifies the dark enemy. They are shaking with deep fear because they can no longer manipulate what they cannot directly access. You have successfully built an impenetrable fortress of blinding light around your physical and spiritual body. No weapon formed against your glorious destiny will ever prosper in this brand new dimension. Stop blaming yourself for the painful delays of your chaotic past. Stop thinking you did something terribly wrong to deserve the harsh isolation. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from entering rooms you were never meant to occupy. The bitter rejection was not a cruel punishment from above. It was the ultimate divine protection protocol working perfectly for you. Breathe that beautiful truth deeply into your physical lungs right now. You have successfully passed the hardest test of your entire earthly existence. The heavy chains of generational trauma are completely shattered on the floor around your feet. You are the brave cycle breaker who willingly took the painful hits so your future bloodline could walk in absolute and total freedom. But as this glorious realization settles into your deep spirit, you must take a very important step. You cannot just listen to this divine message and casually walk away. The dark forces will absolutely try to steal this euphoric high the moment you close this video. You need to permanently lock this high frequency into your physical body, right this very second. We are rapidly moving into the final and most crucial phase of this divine transmission. You have completely absorbed the chilling truth about your grand ignored vision today. You have fully accepted your new authentic identity as a powerful master of reality. Now you must prepare your mind and your heart for the ultimate seal of divine protection and endless earthly prosperity. The universe always requires a physical act of agreement to fully anchor a spiritual blessing into the three-dimensional world. You cannot keep this massive revelation entirely hidden inside your head. You must declare your absolute readiness to the heavens above. And your physical confirmation creates an unbreakable energetic contract with the highest realms of pure light. The painful waiting season is officially over today. You have finally stepped into the blinding light of your ultimate destiny. The heavy chains that held you back for years are completely gone. You are no longer fighting for basic survival in a highly toxic matrix. You have officially claimed your rightful throne as the powerful master of your reality. And heaven is loudly rejoicing at your massive spiritual victory tonight because you never surrendered to the dark. Think about the dark nights when you cried yourself to sleep in total silence. You thought the intense emotional pain would never actually come to an end. You felt like an invisible ghost walking through a world that completely misunderstood your deep heart. But those bitter tears were actively watering the glorious seeds of your current massive breakthrough. You paid the ultimate earthly price to reach this incredibly high spiritual vibration. Your pure aura is now vibrating at a frequency that actively repels toxic entities. The arrogant narcissists who used to drain your energy cannot even look you in the eyes anymore. They are absolutely blinded by the heavy anointing resting gracefully upon your tired shoulders. You have permanently become a highly dangerous and incredibly powerful weapon of divine light, and your mere physical presence is dramatically shifting the atmosphere of every single room you enter today. But you must remain incredibly vigilant and entirely focused right now. The forces of deep darkness are still actively lurking in the distant hidden shadows. They are desperately waiting for you to drop your energetic guard just for one single second. If you close this video without sealing your massive breakthrough, you leave a dangerous crack in your spiritual armor. The desperate enemy will immediately try to slip back in and ruthlessly steal your profound peace. You must permanently lock this glorious high frequency into your physical body today to create an absolute shield of divine protection around your aura. Type 777 down in the comments right now. This specific action is definitely not a meaningless and shallow internet trend for the masses. This is your physical act of agreement with the profound truth that heaven just spoke directly into your weary soul. When you confidently type those sacred numbers, you are closing the door on your painful past forever. You are sending a loud and undeniable signal to the universe that you are fully ready to receive. The powerful angels are standing by to deliver the generational wealth that rightfully belongs to your bloodline. But they urgently need to see your active participation in this beautiful and binding cosmic contract. Massive spiritual wealth operates entirely on the exact law of divine energetic circulation. You cannot just consume the brilliant light and keep it hidden entirely for yourself forever. The universe blesses you abundantly so that you can eventually become a massive beacon of pure hope for others. The dark enemy desperately wants you to keep your hands tightly closed in pure selfish fear, but you must firmly reject that dangerous lack mindset to maintain your absolute alignment with God. God is actively watching your physical response in this exact and highly crucial second. I have spent countless exhausting hours in deep prayer fighting spiritual battles to deliver this urgent message to you. Will you hoard this massive heavenly blessing all to yourself, or will you bravely partner with heaven? Prove your absolute readiness by breaking the heavy chains of selfishness that the toxic matrix programmed into you. If this fiery message has successfully reignited the powerful faith inside your chest, do not keep this blessing to yourself. There is another rare soul out there bleeding in the dark corners of absolute despair. They desperately need a guiding divine light to survive their own violent storm. Share this anointed video with them right now to instantly activate their own healing journey. Sowing the beautiful seed of hope today is actively multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you confidently share this profound truth, you immediately activate the highest level of the divine anointing. You prove to the universe that your hands are completely open to safely receive the massive wealth transfer. But if you choose to scroll away and completely ignore this final command, you risk falling back into the heavy beta wave frequency of the unawakened crowd. Do not let your foolish human pride permanently block the beautiful miracle waiting exactly at your door. You are the undeniable chosen one who survived the brutal and dark storm entirely alone. You are the fierce cycle breaker who permanently defeated the toxic, narcissistic manipulation in your life. The ignored vision you carried deeply in your heart for many long years is finally becoming your beautiful daily reality. Stand incredibly tall today and never look back at the broken pieces of your painful past. Walk with the quiet authority of someone who firmly holds the exact blueprint to the magnificent new earth. Never again will you shrink yourself just to make shallow and ignorant people feel slightly comfortable. Never again will you doubt the brilliant and sharp intuition that God specifically placed inside your chest. You have officially graduated from the brutal earthly school of profound and deep suffering. The painful life lessons are permanently etched into your soul, making you completely immune to the dark illusions of the enemy. The entire universe is extremely proud of your relentless and brave earthly endurance. Your ancient ancestors are cheering loudly for you from the highest unseen realms of pure divine light. Keep your spiritual eyes wide open for the massive earthly miracles arriving directly at your doorstep this very week. Go in absolute peace today and claim the glorious kingdom that has always belonged to you from the very beginning of time.